They realize we bad guys and bad guys be Raiders. Raiders, let's go Raiders, let's go Raiders, let's go Raiders, let's go. If you bought that life, if you bought that action, if you bought that life.
Yo, the Raider Nation, it's your boy Dub Raider. Welcome to another episode of the Raider Nation's Weekly Wire. With me today, and as always, is my man Chris from Protect Shield Podcast. Chris, thanks again for being here with us. You are a vast of knowledge that we want to sponge from, so please let us know what you know. I know it's been a pretty hectic week. It's been a very entertaining week, at least for the Raider Nation, you know, with a great Super Bowl that just happened. But first things first, we will be talking about the Super Bowl, but Chris, thank you again for being here. Anything you want to say to the Raider Nation?
Yeah, man. You know, I know we're going to kind of talk about it, but, you know, this definitely was a good week for us. A good Super Bowl, you know, being able to see that team get their butt beat a little bit and be able to see old Patty Mahomes and Kelsey, you know, with the long faces on the sideline. So that
was a beautiful thing, man. It was a beautiful thing. Oh, my goodness, yes. Yeah, we definitely will dive into it a little bit later. But the first topic at hand that I would like to bring up, obviously, is Eric Allen. Our own Eric Allen has made the Hall of Fame, the 2025 class. I am very excited for this. I'm not sure how many we have, but based on my Hall of Fame wall of inductees here, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We got about 18 with Eric Allen, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Chris?
Probably around there.
Not including like Jerry Rice and Richard Seymour and, you know, like all those players that actually, you know, played with the Raiders, but actually went in with another team.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Eric. I mean, he probably won't go in as a Raider, of course.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Being that obviously he ended his career with the Raiders, and you know he's actually a Raider employee at the time, and you know the Raiders have been taking care of him for, you know, what is it, like 15 years or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, but you gotta think he was like he was with Philly for what, about 6 years.
Yeah, where he got drafted second round.
Yeah. So, I'd be surprised if he go in as a Raider. I'd love it. I would love it, but I don't know. I kind of think that he'll be Philly, to be quite honest.
And do you think, based on because this is where I get confused, is it a choice of the player to go in with a particular team, or is it based on where they ended their career?
No, it's their choice because, you know, I think for Marcus Allen, I think he may have went in as both us and the Chiefs, if I remember correctly.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that far back.
Yeah, because, you know, he, if I remember correctly, because, you know, he ended up with us, you know, on a sour note, you know, with the whole thing.
So.
But yeah, they don't go by like the last team he played for, because you got to think, you know, like Joe Montana, he ended up with the Chiefs, and
KC as well. That's right.
Like Emmitt Smith, I think he ended up with the Cardinals. I think OJ ended up with San Fran at one point. So yeah, I believe they go by who the player wants to.
Okay, so personal choice then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you know, at the end of the day, he still represents the Raider Nation. You know, he's on our they do what show is that, the Raider.
I forgot what they call it, but the main show for the Raiders.
Yeah, he's always on there, and then I believe he also does the pregame with Q Myers and or JT the Brick at Allegiant. So, you know, he's I feel he's still going to represent us very well, you know, in the Hall, you know, being that, you know, he is a current Raider employee, and you know he played with the Raiders as well. I got a couple of points here that I just wanted to mention, but it's I feel like it's wasted time now, being that you bursted my bubble that you probably go in as an Eagle. But Just wanted to.
I could be wrong though. I could be because he did play in a Super Bowl with us.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I mean and I believe that was his only time ever being in a Super Bowl. So
Mhm.
you know, don't let me mess you up, Dub. Don't let me mess you up.
It's all good, man. It's
I
all
don't
good.
want to burst that bubble, man. Salute to
Yeah.
Eric Allen, man.
Yeah, well, let me see. Some of the notes I jotted down was that he's drafted by the Eagles in the second round. He also played with the Saints and finished his career with the Raiders. Was a six-time Pro Bowler, named to All Pro team 3 times. Had 54 career interceptions, 21st all time, and he had 8 pick sixes in his career. So based on that information, Chris, to me, obviously it sounds pretty good, but to you that you have a greater knowledge of football, is that a great career for his position? He was cornerback, correct?
Yeah, he was a corner.
Yeah. Or is that average, above average?
No, I mean, no, that's a good. I mean, it's not like top tier. Like it's not going to be like he didn't put up the numbers of someone like a Rod Woodson or anything like that. But you got to think, being selected to the Pro Bowl 6 years, 3-time all, first team All Pro,
Right.
second team All Pro twice. So you got 5 years that you were All Pro. Led the NFL, or he was the co-leader in interceptions with 8 in 1993. He was part of the Philadelphia Eagles 75th anniversary team.
Right.
He's actually a member of the Hall of Fame over there at the Eagles. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like you said, the 54 career interceptions. He had 8 of them. He returned to the house, and that's tied for 5th in NFL history. At the point when he retired. So.
Right.
Yeah, so he has a strong case, man. He has a very solid career, and I remember just back in the day when we did get him, in '98, I was happy, because I think at that point because we had Charles Woodson, so he was on the other side of Charles Woodson, and he helped mentor a young Charles Woodson. Because a lot of people don't remember Charles when he first got into the league. He how do I say it? He wasn't the same leader that he was the second time around when he came to us. So, he had some growing up to do. And I think, Eric Allen, did a good job of trying to keep him reeled in and show him how to be a professional.
That's great, man. I've like I said, I've been a Raider for a long time, but never to that depth. And it's good to hear these stories, that Eric Allen mentored Charles Woodson, a young Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Coming cocky as hell from Michigan. Winning the Rose Bowl, and but that's awesome. That's awesome to hear, and congratulations to him. Regardless of the fact if he goes in as an Eagle, Saint, or Raider, it's once a Raider, always a Raider, right? He's still repping us on Raider TV, so it's all good. Again, Eric Allen, congratulations.
Growing up as a young boy, loving the game of football, did you ever even dream that you were going to be in the consideration for football?
No, not at all. Not at all. I fell in love with the game, fell in love with the Raiders early on. That was kind of the beginning of just like dedicating, my life to being the best football player I could be.
Eric Allen, number 21, is a big play guy.
Too high, picked off by Allen. Eric Allen down the sideline, touchdown.
But he makes the quick pass and it's picked off. Eric Allen, who scored touchdowns in back-to-back games, does it for the 3rd time this season.
Hey, y'all play it. Y'all do the alley-oop now. Yeah.
Next, the Super Bowl. Oh my God, the Super Bowl, Chris. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went into this game getting ready to be pissed off for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Because with all the talk of the ref situation, with just how the three-peat and just it got into my head, and I went in there thinking very negatively about the Eagles. My only hope was Saquon Barkley, but
Yeah.
I know that KC, when they see a strength in another team, they attack it.
Exactly.
And they shut it down. So that was my worry, but I was pleasantly surprised, as we were all. What are your thoughts, man?
I was definitely surprised because for one, I thought it was going to be just a heck of a game because the Chiefs are the Chiefs. No
Right.
matter how we feel about them, they're the champs. They were the champs, and they will remain the champs until they're dethroned.
Right.
And I'm like, man, Andy Reid coming off of 2 weeks prep on one team, he's tough to beat, man. He's
Yeah,
tough
yeah.
to beat because he's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches, specifically one of the greatest offensive minds. So, and Spagnuolo is one of he's a great defensive mind. So I'm like,
Yeah.
they're going to be ready. They're going to be prepared. And then plus you think about the ref situation. It
Yes.
seems like they get calls that other teams don't always get. However, I knew if any team could beat them, it would be the Eagles, just because of how they're set up. They're built to beat a team like Kansas City,
Mhm.
and their defensive coordinator. I mean, he just called a heck of a game. Vic Fangio used to be a coach for the Denver Broncos. Just the
Right.
way he was kind of dialing up different things. But one thing that was very impressive is he kind of showed a blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs.
Right.
And the thing is, and I know we kind of talk about it, but you got to build those trenches, man. When the Eagles drafted Jalen Carter
Mhm.
2 years ago, that's what solidified that Super Bowl. If Jalen Carter was absolutely a menace all game, he was getting pressure. If you really watch the game, they didn't have to blitz Mahomes. They were getting
No.
him with the 4 guys up front.
Yep.
They were getting to him, so then they could do other things on the back end
That's
to help
right.
take Kelsey away from the game or Worthy or whoever else. So, it was a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, I hope someone like Patrick Graham can watch that game and say, "Okay, I got the cheat code now."
Yep. Just keep pressure on Mahomes.
Yeah,
Because giving him time is what I think makes him excel.
yeah,
Because he can work his little side throw magic and stuff like that. Just giving them that time. But with all the pressure they were giving him, man, it was amazing. All the sacks, the pressures, the hurries, man, everything was great. The pick six
Oh man, that was beautiful.
was beautiful. That was so beautiful. I'm telling you, I was sitting there. I had actually gone to Bo's. Shout out to Bo's Cigar Lounge. That's my home away from home. We were sitting there watching the game. There was a couple of other Raider fans and myself, and we were all talking about the same thing, and just going in there defeated. Game started the first quarter, I believe, was on the first drive. They make that not so gracious call
Oh yeah,
for the Chiefs, and
yeah.
I'm like,
Here we go
damn.
again. Yeah, here we
I'm
go.
like, it's starting already. It's like the first freaking drive, and
Yeah.
they're already calling it for them, right? But then it kind of evened out because I think that they called one on the Eagles' first drive. That they called one against the Chiefs, and then after that, it just kind of like it was good.
Yeah, no,
Like the refs, I didn't.
ref game. Yep.
Yeah, I guess they didn't get their checks on time or something, but they called a great game, and the fanfare, man. I thought it was going to be, KC throughout, which obviously there was a lot of KC fans, but man, the Eagle fans showed
Oh,
up.
yeah, no, they're passionate and they're devoted. I knew they were going to be in the house. I knew they were going to be in the house.
Yeah, that was sitting down watching on TV. It was definitely a great experience to watch, see all these fans on both sides, doing what they do, and the Eagles pulling it out. It was as a Raider fan, I think, like I mentioned on one of my shorts, this kind of made up for last year's Super Bowl, because we had two teams that we don't like playing at our house. So watching them lose this year in such a big game, being that it was going to be their 3-peat game, it was a great feeling. I'm still all week. I've been just smiling and anytime I hear something, I just, oh man. But let me throw a little side note. What did you think of Kendrick Lamar's halftime show?
Oh, loved it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for me, I can't even sit here and say that I am like a super big Kendrick fan. I do like them because I like lyrics and I like layered lyrics, double entendres and
Right.
similes and metaphors. So I appreciate that. But I just love the symbolism and just kind of what he took his time to really think it through.
Yes, he did.
And beyond, it's not for everybody, but it's definitely it was a celebration for the West Coast.
Yes.
Celebration for Compton and things like that, and he had a story to tell, and he also was petty, taking the shots at Drake, and I think he did it in a very surgical way, man. So
Yeah, he did.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So what about
I
you?
did too, but I'm biased because I'm from here.
Yeah,
I like again, like you. I'm not a really big Kendrick Lamar fan. I've known him for many years. Never really followed much of his music. A song here and there.
yeah,
But after I started watching his videos and like you're mentioning all the metaphors that he incorporates into his music and the hidden messages and
yeah.
I really enjoy that aspect because it's not just, hey, look at me, I make money, I get bitches, da 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 da.
Exactly.
He's telling a story and something that's real to the people in this area,
Yeah,
to the people of Southern California and a lot of low income areas as well.
yeah.
So I really commended him for that. When the show started, I was kind of like, oh, you know what? I think it's going to be a pretty decent show because I was thinking back to the Super Bowl here in LA with Dr. Dre, Snoop, him, Eminem, and all that. I thought it was going to be that type of entertainment.
Yeah,
But then I saw Samuel L. Jackson come out as Uncle Sam. Now, wait a minute. There's something here.
yeah.
So I didn't try to put too much thought into it at the moment. I just tried to enjoy the music, enjoy the show. But I think he did an amazing job, man. I truly commend him. I think hip hop definitely has its leader.
Yeah,
in Kendrick.
and plus, I think a lot of people don't realize that, like you can't compare him to someone like a Snoop or a Dre,
Right.
and I think people kind of wanted to do that. They want to compare it to someone like that, but that's not his style of music. His style isn't going to be something that's super flashy. That's going to just be club songs and
Right.
radio friendly. Like his songs are all about like messaging. Even the way he raps real fast. So sometimes, you almost got to play it back. Like, what did he say?
Yeah.
But then that makes you like, oh, he said this, but he really meant this. And that's when, the double and triple entendres come in. He's like, man, that's some layered writing. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's not going to be for everyone, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of a combination of two old school rap groups and rapper, Public Enemy and Def Jeff. I don't know if you remember Def Jeff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Them two, because they always had a message within their music. Public Enemy was obviously hard hitting in your face.
Yeah.
Def Jeff was more of like the subtleties, but hitting you hard with them.
Yeah, they're there.
And that's I think, man, it was, I think at the end of the day, great show. A lot of haters out there, but that means he's doing something right.
He's doing something right. Yeah, there's a lot of haters, and at the end of the day,
Yep, he's pushing the right buttons.
Exactly. Because the message wasn't for everybody. So
Yes, sir. So, and any other comments or thoughts on the Super Bowl?
No, man. Like I said, I was just happy to see Kelsey, almost looking like he was crying on the sideline and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just great. It was great as a Raider fan to see.
I'm sorry, I'm enjoying that too much. But no, yeah, do you think this is going to be it for Kelsey? Because there's a lot of talk of him retiring.
I do because I think he hasn't been too happy. Like I think that he wanted he expected to kind of go out on top this year. I think if the game was close, he may have considered it, but just the way that they got pounded like that,
Right.
And then also if you really kind of look at like his numbers, like down the stretch, he wasn't really big. He wasn't a big part of the offense.
Right.
And honestly, he has his rings. He can make probably more money, doing all kinds of, TV work and stuff outside of the field.
Yeah.
He probably do reality shows with Taylor Swift and make NFL money doing stuff like that. So I really think he's done, honestly.
Yeah, because that was my thought going into this game. I thought if the Chiefs would win this game, Kelsey would definitely retire.
Yeah,
because he's doing so well as an actor.
exactly.
I was watching this show. I think it's called Grotesquerie or something like that, and he's in it, and he's pretty decent, man.
No, I can't stand him, but I mean he has that it factor where he'll have a nice long career doing something. Like, I mean, kind of how Gronk is. I mean, he's a personality,
Right.
and he'll continue making money like that.
Yeah, he definitely has another avenue. I think that he's found, for his future career. And obviously, if he doesn't want to do anything, if he marries Taylor Swift, he's good for like 10 lifetimes, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's gonna be cool. But for us, I think as Raider fans and the Raider organization, I think Kelsey being gone is gonna be a great thing because it's one less thing we have to worry about.
Man.
So just we could just focus on maybe more pressure on Mahomes or the offensive line or something, but just one less character to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm a trash can. Jalen Hurts absolutely destroyed me tonight. And the Eagles O-line pounded me raw. My cheeks are sore from all the pounding I took tonight. They didn't even use any protection. The Eagles O-line needs to practice safe sacks,
All right, Chris. Well, being that Super Bowl's done, now we're going to go to the draft, to our needs, to what is it? The combine coming up pretty soon, I believe, in like about a week or two.
So first it's free agency, I believe. I think free agency comes. I'm not sure exactly when the combine is, to be quite honest. But I know free agency starts early
in about a month, right?
Next month, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the combine might. I mean, don't hold me to that. I don't know exactly when that is, but yeah.
Well, regardless of the fact, we have to go through both of them.
Yeah.
Can you explain briefly on the purposes of the combine? Because personally, to me, the combine just seems like a dog and pony show. For the audience and for the team to see what physical attributes the players have, but I don't think it shows much of their actual like football field player ability. It shows that they're fast. It shows that they can jump. It shows they can catch, but combining all of that and putting on the field against other players is a very different story, especially players of high caliber as there are in the NFL. What are your thoughts on the combine?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that because especially us Raider fans, we get too caught up in the combine, and not just us. I think just fans, period, get so caught up in the combine. The combine is a place where guys can kind of show off their athleticism and stuff like that.
Right.
But as we know, that does not always correlate. And shout out to the late Al Davis. He loved his speed. He loved his measurables of players. But I think sometimes he used to get too caught up in that combine where that's why a lot of times we'd have the fastest guy on the field, but they can't catch, or the fastest guy and, they what it is, or the biggest guy or the strongest guy, but he can't move. So a lot of times we get caught up in that. So I always try to let Raider Nation know that don't forget about what you saw on game days. Don't forget about what you saw on Saturdays with this player. That to me is what matters. What you see in the film, that's what matters. A guy running around with some tights and in a tank top, anybody can look good at that point. But what can you do when the game's on the line? It's high pressure situation. Mentally, I want to see how you run when a guy is chasing you, not just when you're just doing a track type 40-yard dash.
Right. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. Now, here's another question I have for you. Obviously, a lot of the players that go in the first rounds of the draft are highly sought after players that excelled in college.
Yeah.
You know, they broke records or they won championships or, you know, whatever the fact is. But college and the pros are very different because in college you have different tiers of players, different skill levels of players, to where in the NFL you have the best of the best, the one percenters,
Yeah.
you know, of football. How well do you think that translate when going from college to the pros when it comes to drafting a player?
A lot of things matter. You know, I think what kind of system you were in matters. So, like, if you get a quarterback that is in a, you know, spread type of offense that's never been under center before, you know, a guy that, you know, has never really had to do too much play action in his scheme, compared to a guy that's been in the NFL pro style system, that transition can be a little bit easier for that guy. You know, a lot of times in college, the coach can try to create a system for a quarterback that's kind of it's easy to digest what the defense is doing, so you're not putting the quarterback in harm's way too much. Whereas, you know, you can't get away with certain stuff in the NFL because, like you said, these guys are the best of the best. So, you know, it's hard. You know, in certain positions is easier to translate than others. Like you get like the running back position. The running back position is one that guys can usually, you know, hit the ground running and be good right away. Whereas something like the corner, you know, and that's why I try to tell everyone to be patient with Ja'Cory Bennett. Is besides the quarterback position, I think corner is the second hardest position for on the NFL team. So sometimes you got to be a little bit more patient when you're dealing with those guys because, you know, they're dealing with a different, you know, I mean, what they're doing is kind of the same, but you still have to be able to adjust a little bit differently. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you know, guys that are defensive backs, just the way the field's set up, people don't realize that the hash marks on the college field is different than the hash marks on the NFL field. So when you're a cornerback, a lot of times you're playing hash mark to sideline or in between the hash marks. So just that, something simple as that a lot of fans don't realize is completely different. So it's
there's
not
adjustment time required for that, right? Yeah, that's crazy, man. So, okay, now going to the actual draft itself. Of course, everybody knows we're in need of a quarterback. What would be your choice at pick number 6 if all the available starting quarterbacks were there? Who would you pick and why?
If anybody was available?
Yes, any of the quarterbacks.
Cam Ward by far.
Cam Ward?
Not even close. Yeah.
Okay. And reason behind that is because obviously all the hype is with Sanders.
Yeah.
You know, why Cam Ward?
So for me, Cam Ward is someone, he has elite arm talent. And when I say arm talent, you hear people say arm talent. The actual act of just throwing the ball, you know, accuracy, arm strength, you know, like when you think of arm talent, like just think about people that's in the NFL, like Josh Allen has arm talent. Mahomes has arm talent. You know, Rodgers when he was in his heyday.
Younger.
Yeah, so you know, those guys that can really just put the ball wherever they want to put it. Now, Shedeur, he has a nice arm, and he can get the ball there. But as far as just like, I mean, even if you watch them two throw next to each other, and like I've been watching, they've been training together. I mean, just the zip on the ball, like his ball gets the A to B way faster than Shedeur's. So it's just little stuff like that, and he can move better. And I just think with the right coaching, he can be a franchise-changing quarterback.
Well, let me play devil's advocate here. Let's say if we do get Cam Ward, I remember we once picked in the first position. Well, that was the number 1 position some years ago. A very strong-armed quarterback. Yeah, you know that could throw the ball. What was it, 60 yards? Yeah, sitting down or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, and you know what happened there.
Oh yeah. So
is there a possibility that that could happen again, or is the mentality of the quarterbacks different now to where those everyone has learned from those mistakes? Coaching players.
Yeah. So for one, we can never compare Cam Ward to Jamarcus Russell. I mean, they both have arm talent, and to be honest, Jamarcus had elite, like the top of the top when it comes to just arm talent as far as getting there. But the thing with Jamarcus was his mentality, his mindset, his desire to get better. Someone like Jamarcus was highly recruited just because he had great, I won't say great size, but he was like tall and strong and set, whereas Cam Ward, I think coming out, he may have been like a 0 or a 1-star, recruit coming out of school. So, he literally had to work his way up. So nothing was handed to him. He wasn't getting a whole bunch of offers and things like that. So everything, all the recognition he got it through the mud. He earned it.
Okay.
And even like, even when you think about Shedeur, I'll say he earned his as well, but, he came in kind of a privileged situation, where he could get the best of the best trainers and stuff like that.
Right.
Cam Ward literally got it from the mud, man. And to me, that's where like that dog mentality comes from. So
exactly. When you earn things, you appreciate them more.
Exactly.
Than when they're just given. That's definitely something I try to teach my son.
Yeah.
But so Cam Ward is a guy. Let's say, for example, Cam, Sanders, they're gone, right?
Yep.
Obviously, at that point, based on everything I've been hearing out in the Raiderverse, that we would basically draft for need or best available. Which one would you draft, for need or best available? Because last year we did best available
and it worked out.
It worked out very well.
Yeah, I'm at the point because we have so many needs. In my opinion, I would say you have to do the best available. You have to. Now, when you're a team that just has a couple pieces away from really making some noise, then you can kind of change that strategy. But besides a tight end and besides, I'll say just a tight end because besides a tight end. We could literally draft any position on the field, and they could come in and be an upgrade on what we got. So
right. But what would be your pick? Like, what position do you think, if quarterback is out of the question, what would be the position that you would pick? Because I'm assuming it would be running back, based on Pete's the way he coaches is he's kind of like a run first type coach.
Yeah, no, he definitely likes he likes his running backs. I think you can get just because this year is so deep with running backs, you can get a good starting caliber running back in the 3rd round.
Oh, okay.
But I want to get someone that I think can be very like almost a generational type player. Either Mason Graham, he's a defensive tackle. Or a cornerback, actually, Will Johnson from Michigan, because I think those two guys can be players that can make our team better right away. But because no matter what we think, Raider Nation, we're not a year away from being complete.
We're not.
We have to build this thing up. So, getting a running back to me early, it's not going to really matter because we still got to get our trenches together.
Yeah.
So if we can't get Mason Graham or Will Johnson, I'd look at the best available offensive lineman. So, one of those 3 positions is kind of what I'm really looking at for first round.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I also had been hearing that, this is going to be a very deep draft for running backs.
Yeah, it is.
And, anything in the 3rd, 4th round, would suffice. And maybe even double stacking the actual running back picks.
Yeah.
Just to see if we can hit with one. If we hit with 2, great. But just kind of having that. Let me see what else we got. So we got running backs. Well, you just basically spoke about the next topic I wanted to ask you was, what needs we have. And basically you said it, everything but tight end.
Yeah.
But do you think we should go more towards offense or towards defensive players?
So for the draft, I would like to kind of focus on offense just as a whole, because I think our defense, as long as with us bringing Patrick Graham back, as long as we can re-sign some key guys, I think we can fill some slots with some veteran guys in the free agent. But as far as drafting, let's draft some good young talent that we can develop and grow with, so we can have our own version of a Kelsey and get us a good quarterback, get us a number one receiver, so we can have our version of the triplets or whatever,
Right.
and stay together and grow together, so we can have the next 4 or 5 years of just them being beasts. So that's what I would like to see.
Yes, yeah, definitely. For me at this point, anything better than what we have
Yeah.
is going to be a plus.
Yeah.
Just the only thing that I would want for the Raider Nation and for myself as well is just we need to learn patience.
Yeah.
Patience is definitely a virtue.
Yeah.
We need to just give the coaching staff, give the players that time they require to gel, to get better, to learn the process. And can't get any worse than this year, can it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. It can't get any worse, and we do have to be patient. We definitely do. I think a lot of times we get caught up in just wanting to be better right away. Sometimes
Yeah.
it works. Like you look at the Washington Redskins, they went and got their quarterback, found their guy, and they're a game away from being in the Super Bowl. So,
But they were already a work in progress, weren't they? Did they have like a year or two of picking up players and developing players?
They did, but you got to think they were the number 2 pick. They weren't a good team. They didn't, especially on offense, didn't have that much talent on offense. Even now their receiving core is lackluster. They got some pieces, but the fact that they were able to combine a play caller that's very innovative
Yes.
with a young quarterback, that right there is something that is going to get them. They're going to be contending for Super Bowls for the next 10 years.
Easily. As long as they keep on picking up good players or maintaining the team that they have, they're definitely going to be a team to be reckoned with for many years to come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just feel that we just need patience, and we need to support the team, even though it gets hard, man.
It is.
Like we were talking about last week, it's just after so many years of losing seasons, very few games, very few playoff appearances.
Yeah.
It just it tires you.
It gets old, man. It gets old.
It does. But
and I think last year or this year we really dropped the ball when we lost that home opener the way we did.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, you're at that game, I imagine.
No,
Okay.
not that one. I went the week after.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he went with us actually.
Mhm.
But yeah, that home opener, you just heard. For just as a fan, just watching the game on TV, we were blacked out.
Yeah.
Our fans were in there. It seemed like they were loud, and just the way they dropped the egg like that, man. It was like it seemed like we never really got that momentum back.
Right.
So
We didn't. But you know what? This is I guess the positive aspect of the Raider Nation. Even though yes, it was a horrible season. We weren't doing anything. I actually went to the last game against the Chargers, and there was a lot of empty seats, but the seats that were filled were Raider fans. We definitely had a larger number of Raider fans than we did Charger fans at that game.
Yeah.
And mind you, if I was a Charger fan, I knew my team was going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, why go to
Why the hell not go to Vegas?
Yeah.
This is going to be a gimme game.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
But yet Raider fans still showed up. It wasn't that many. It was a little sad. But the ones that did show up, I commend each and every one of the Raider Nation that was there supporting. I just hope we can do this more often.
Yeah.
You know, I know tickets are expensive, but you know, we gotta keep going, man.
That's true.
You gotta keep going. Well, all right, Chris. That's all the questions I had for you. Thank you for joining me again this week. Please let everybody know where they can find you, what shows you got coming up, what's up in the Protect the Shield world.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, always having a good time with you. Got episode number 2 in the books, man. But yeah, you know, as everybody knows, catch me on Protect the Shield podcast on YouTube, and I'm also, you know, you can find me on, you know, TikTok, IG.
All the links down here.
Yeah, all the links. So, you know, definitely, you know, check me out, and don't hesitate to send me a message, man, if you want to talk ball. You know, I do my show. I have a show every Tuesday and Sunday. It's called The Raider War Room, you know, with my brothers, the Severe Raider and 805 Raider. So,
805.
you know, those are two guys that I really respect, that we can break down the game very well. You know, so it's you know, definitely show that, you know, if you guys like the details of the game, and you know, just the way we break it down, and we've also kind of added some new segments to our show as well. So it's well produced, and you know, definitely check it out. And then I have my show on Thursdays, Shield Talk Thursdays. You know, you guys can check me out there as well, where I usually have a guest on there, and you know, we just kind of talk about current events with the Raiders and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely check me out, and you know, make sure you guys hit the notification bell on Dub Raiders channel, and check out every last one of these, you know, these weekly wires that we have for you guys, man.
Yes, sir. And tell them about next week.
Yeah, and then next week, so I'm going to actually be in Las Vegas for the Commitment to Excellence dinner. It's actually going to be honoring and saluting Max Crosby. So it's going to be a very good event, you know, so I'm going to be there for that dinner. But then also that weekend, we're going to have a meet and greet, my guys from the Raider War Room, you know, with my boy 805 and Severe. So we're going to have a meet and greet there. So, you know, make sure you guys, you know, stay connected with us, you know, on social media, you know, for more details, and also check out our show. You know, we'll have more details to let you guys know about that, have some flyers out and all that stuff. Can't wait to see you guys. Every time I have, you know, meet and greets and things like that, it's always a good time. And Dub, you might be out there, maybe?
Yeah. I'm actually working on it right now. You know, I'm working in my brownie points with my wife.
Hey, gotta do it, man.
Yeah, try to get up there.
Hey, do what you got to do. Get a couple extra chocolates,
Yeah,
man.
sure. Yeah, because what I'm thinking about doing is just maybe doing a turnaround, just going like Saturday and then just coming right back on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to go see you guys, go hang out with the Raider Nation.
Yeah.
You know, just do something to lift up the spirits and keep the motivation going. You know,
Yeah.
for the off season.
For sure.
You know, and obviously, anytime hanging out with you and the rest of the Raider Nation, you know, it's always a good time.
Always.
You know,
Man.
so I'm definitely going to try my hardest to get out there. Maybe even take my wife, because you know she's a Raider fan as well,
Yeah.
but not to our level.
Yeah.
You know, but she does love and support the team, and I want to get her more involved. Just like I already did my son. My son, we created a little character for him. He's a little super fan called Skater Raider. So you know, I want this to be a family type thing,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
hopefully, going to this event, it would definitely show her, you know, the family outside the family.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is the Raider Nation.
And plus,
Yeah,
she owes me some Jello shots too.
yes, she does. Yes, she does, man. She's waiting for you to come back.
Hey, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
She's gonna have a whole tray of them, full of whatever you want, man. We got tequila, we got vodka, you name it. We got it for you, my friend.
Salute.
But yeah, thanks again, Chris. You know, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. You got your shows, you got your life and everything, and you still take the time to come and talk to us. You know, appreciate that. As far as for me, still working on the Raider Nation roll call, looking to get more guests. Stogie Nation, trying to work with MC Raider. He's a really busy man right now. But I still want to do more of the Stogie Nation episodes. I'm actually working on I have already some cigars for the Stogie Nation cigars. I'm going to come out with like a small sample of Stogie Nation cigars, see what the nation thinks of the cigars that I with the company that I paired up with, and see maybe if we can get our own cigars out there, and not necessarily to make money, but just to show the Raider Nation that we can smoke our shit and talk our shit whenever we win.
Exactly.
But other than that, here with Chris, every week, dropping Saturdays, and just getting knowledge. One more thing, Raider Nation, that I want to ask you: if you have any questions or any topics that you want us to talk about, please message myself or Chris, and we will definitely put it in the next episode. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have the knowledge that Chris does. That's why I appreciate everything that Chris puts out there and the time that he puts in with us. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere. And we will definitely get those questions answered for you. So again, Chris, thank you. Raider Nation, thank you. Remember, everything we do is for the nation, by the nation. Peace.
Raider!